Hey guys, so today we'll be looking at how to colorize a black and white photo in Photoshop using the repaired barn image that you made in your last assignment. The London tutorial covered how all these can be used. Today we'll be using overlay, color, and I used here multiply to get a bit of a darker sky. And then I lowered that opacity. I wanted a kind of overcast blue. I wasn't liking how that was looking, so I eventually changed that back to color mode. But the great thing about how we're working is that you can go back and change this and it's not being destructive. So then I'm going to go back to the background layer and I'm going to use the quick selection tool. And I'm just going to select all that grass in the foreground and midground. I typically use several different selection tools because the quick selection tool isn't always 100% perfect. And sometimes it's easier to just use the polygon lasso tool or the rectangular lasso tool. So now I'm going to go to the adjustment layer icon, which is that little half-filled circle in the bottom under your layers. I'm going to select solid color, and then I'm going to pick a color around what I want, and then I'm going to change the opacity and layer type. So now I'm just going to go through and do that same process to the trees, the barn, and the fire. I did not colorize absolutely everything, and I did not select everything as in-depth as I wanted to, because then this video would be like 30 minutes long. But I wanted you guys to get the idea of how this workflow can be used to change the color of an image in a non-destructive way. So now that I have most of the picture colorized, I can go and add adjustment layers to change the hue, saturation, and any other aspects of the photo. So I just Now, a good tip, which Linda also covered, is that if you don't want an adjustment layer to affect every layer underneath it, you can make a clipping mask. So to do that, you place the adjustment layer over the group or layer that you want to affect and hit Option on Mac. I am not sure what you hit on PC, but you can also just right click and it'll pull it up and it'll just say clipping mask. Clipping masks are great if you want to only change one part of your photo. They're also very helpful when you're illustrating in Photoshop because you can just illustrate in the selected area of whatever the clipping mask is over. So I wanted to play with it a bit and see what type of different lighting I could get. So here you're seeing me just mess with it a little bit because you can do a lot of different things with the tools in Photoshop. So here I'm going through and brightening the flames. And once again, the great thing about this is that you can remove any of the effects you've done because it's not messing with your source photo. So if I click off of all these layers, you can see that I'll go back to the brighter colored image I had before. So I forgot to film it, but once again, export as a JPEG and make sure you save as a .psd, because if you just save as a JPEG, you'll lose all your layer data, so you won't be able to go back and edit. So So that's all I have for you guys today. Once again, I'll be holding office hours on Thursdays from 5 to 7. There'll be 2 different sessions. Drop by. I can help you with whatever you need. And also send me an email if you have any questions.